can you give us a couple of pieces of advice that we can change that inner dialogue inside of us to start overcoming those disbeliefs and really believing that we are capable, and not only capable, but that we deserve what we're going after? Because I think that's a big piece that people sometimes they might overlook, where, I don't deserve this. What did I do to deserve this? Or what have I ever done to deserve that beautiful goal? And they push it back to the universe and just on a, undeserving kind of level. How important is it to believe that we deserve it, and also believe that we can have it?
Well, those are very, very key, and it is surprising that those are hard things to do. And then when you bring it up, I think it's a great point, because why not feel we deserve something, and why not appreciate it? I think what happens is we get so conditioned to not having something. For example, maybe you haven't had, and one example is maybe you haven't had a partner, a good relationship for so long, you kind of get used to not having. And then suddenly a partner comes along, this right person comes along, that, my God, this person is better than I ever expected. It actually means shifting a habit of living life with not having, to living a life with having, and being careful that you don't self-sabotage here and go into, well, I haven't had before, I probably don't deserve this. And I think it's all about being mindful, paying attention to what are those languages, what are those words, what are those stories, what are those little guys on your shoulder saying in your brain that might cause you to sabotage a beautiful thing going on in your life. It may be that a great job comes along, and you're not willing to accept that because you're not used to having a great job. And so part of it is, I believe, is habit. We get into a mindset that's been going on for so long that we don't realize it is a habit. And therefore, something great comes along that we really do deserve, because we all, if we really get down to the core of it on a universal level, some spiritual level, we all deserve to be happy. We all deserve to be the best of who we are and all of who we are. Of course we deserve that. And it's important to own that, to know that, to believe that. And that's a big piece of it, but I think it's important to be aware of what kind of habit do we get into. We hear these stories of people who win the lottery, or they win huge amounts of money, and then of course within X amount of years they're broke again. Well, that's all about familiarity and habit. So if we had the habit of being someone who doesn't have a lot of money, and suddenly you have money, and you're so uncomfortable with this new way of being that on some level you start to sabotage yourself and you get back to what's familiar again. So that deserving thing may need to be a new language, a new exercise that you say to yourself, I deserve the things that I want. And if I want to start a new business, or I have this new goal, or I have this new dream, well, why not feel like I deserve it? Now, of course, I'm a real pragmatic person, so I am going to suggest doing a certain amount of research and homework. At the same time, I will admit, passion and dreams are very powerful, because when I started out and I self-published my book and got started in my business, I was clueless. I didn't know about the publishing world. I'm living in the middle of the desert, for heaven's sakes. I wasn't out in New York. I wasn't in LA, where all the big things happen. But I thought, there's a need for this type of a book, I guess. I'll just go out and do it myself, which I did. And years later, as I look back at that, I thought, if I would have known all the obstacles and all the things that were involved with trying to move this forward and get this book off the ground and do what I do, I would have given up right at the beginning. So there is a value to having, I don't want to call it naivete as much as the energy of the passion that drives you and keeps you going. That fuels you all the time. I have some people I know who have inventions, who have products, who have services that so deserve to come in the world, and they have the adversity after adversity after adversity during this tough economy in the last 5 years. with a particular friend that I can think of, and by God, she still has that passion on bringing her natural, nut milk to the world. And I have to admire what she goes through. And there's lots of inventors and designers and artists out there who need to weigh this all the time and keep themselves fueled by their passion on some level all along.